Hello and welcome. The summary in the introductory video to levels 1 and 2 showed a radial chart with three core elements: mindset, information gathering and perception, and finally method and management, the subject of this video. Much of the information in this channel is layered, so it is presumed that you have already seen those level 1 videos on mindset, L1S2, and information gathering and perception, L1S3. In method of management, the first question is why even think about having a method in driving? It's probably the one thought furthest away in most drivers' or riders' minds. Tasks generally have a number of functions. These can happen in a random fashion, but they generally end up forming a natural sequence of some sort. It happens in business, work, and sport. Sequence normally improves efficiency whilst facilitating the management of situations and making them less stressful. So, from long experience, many activities include a proven method or sequence for doing things, and it has been shown that road driving is no different. In level 1, it is just an introduction to a simple repeatable sequence, may need to show the logic of having a method and dealing with a few key points. In the previous video was the heading Speed for View, about getting the speed right so that one can stop undramatically if things suddenly go pear-shaped in front. So let's start with speed as a key building block. Tied in with speed is very often the need to reduce it. There's more than one way of doing that, one of which is obviously by braking. So now we are not only looking for the right speed for a situation, but also a means of achieving it. This gives us our first building block, speed braking. Before that, it may be necessary to have a position. It can be one which not only prepares us for an event, such as the choice of lane when approaching traffic lights or roundabout, but it can also indicate to others what we might be intending to do, such as being just left of the centre line before a right turn. This gives us our second building block, so we now have position, then speed. In levels 1 and 2, position is about the basic choice of a position, often prior to a manoeuvre. In level 3, position becomes the skill set positioning, which is a major contributor to safety. Having dealt with speed, we may now need to choose a gear which gives suitable control and flexibility for that new speed. There is often confusion about how and when to take a gear. Mixed in with braking, this often results in a lot of unnecessary wear to the clutch as well as the associated thrust bearing. Additionally, this can cause high wear to the sinker mesh in the gearbox. Partly for these reasons, it's best to deal with speed, then decide on a suitable gear and concentrate on each in turn. For example, if the vehicle has been in fourth and with the new speed, say preparatory to entering a roundabout, second is suitable gear, then it is simply a matter of going from fourth to second. Going via third only makes the situation more complex than it needs to be and does not serve any useful purpose. We now have three key building blocks of an easily repeatable method or system: getting position, then dealing with speed, and then deciding on a gear. That's fine up to a point and covers what we want or need to do. But what about other people around? As much as possible, we need to know what is happening all around us. Two other elements cover this ground. One is using mirrors, where in cars the primary mirror should be the central one, and the others are secondary. Apart from maintaining a regular awareness of what is happening behind, mirrors should obviously always be checked before any change in position or reduction in speed to ensure the action which follows is not unsafe or causes inconvenience to others. And then we get to signals, and here is a major point to be made. The two functions of signals are: one, to inform of intention, and two, to ask, as in sometimes in the case of changing lanes. A key point is that signals perform no useful function if applied as a maneuver such as a lane change is being performed. That is only telling people what they can already see is happening. These are what I call reflex signals because they seem hardwired to a steering input. So they happen more or less together. Center vision, indicating potential tailback. Watching this vehicle closing on me into a 40 ahead, just staying in second or third for the moment. Watching this vehicle coming, dodging out around. And they're going to dodge back. Long view, cluster of vehicles ahead, and it's heavy in lane 1, so we've got this one coming straight back across my front. Takes my view away. Reflex signalling is effectively a useless exercise. The two need to be separated by at least 2 seconds. Exit signals from roundabouts generally accepted. Traffic. Okay, mirror signals. Got one coming in, approaching on the near side. We're checking, we've got the space. Okay, they're holding. We can go into lane 1 and cancel the signal. Thank you very much.
This behaviour is so imprinted that it is very hard for many people to disconnect the two elements. Much of this, again, comes down to not looking and planning ahead and giving time to perform the different functions.
One other adverse aspect of reflex signalling is that there tends to be a rites of passage mindset associated with it. Signalling does not give any rights at all. There are now 5 elements in our method. There are just 2 more. The first is steering. Good steering, and indeed the use of the central mirror, is associated with the driving position. Also, many do not consider that there is a large explosive device in the middle of the steering wheel, and if that goes off and an arm is across it, that arm will be blown into the face at anything up to 200 miles per hour. And if it is a watch arm, that can inflict serious facial, including eye injuries, among other potentially serious types. Driving position can also have a bearing on this. These are major safety reasons not to have arms going across the steering wheel. The British Medical Journal has produced an emergency medicine journal document exploring injuries associated with airbag deployment. There are some 8 different types of injuries which can be associated with airbag deployment. A good seating position and suitable management of the steering wheel go a long way to reducing vulnerability to injury from airbag deployment. Indifferent steering is often associated with poor driving position, which can cause back problems. In turn, this can often be associated with indifferent driving behaviour,
and therefore a higher vulnerability to crashes.
Finally, there is acceleration and acceleration sense. In simplistic terms, as much as possible, avoid applying power in a curved path. In most vehicles, this would induce a path wider than that selected by the steering, and many problems occur by applying power on a curved path. Rear-wheel drive vehicles can, in addition, be subjected to the back-end breaking away, meaning the path would initially be tighter than that selected by the steering, possibly ending in a spin. A vehicle is normally in its most stable configuration when either power or braking is applied in a straight line. A full explanation of understeer and oversteer will be given in level 3. The second point is that it doesn't make sense to be applying power if the next instant you're hard on the brakes. That is generally another product of not looking and thinking ahead.
These elements put together form a simple logical sequence, which, in advanced driving, is called system, or originally the system of car control. It will be fully explained in level 3. The next video in the level 1 series will be on town and country. I look forward to seeing you then. Thanks for watching.